providing a beautiful space to feel happy, to feel calm. And then, what happens to that system? How are we making changes? Perhaps we are cutting the tree. Perhaps we're polluting the river. Perhaps we're catching all the butterflies. And seeing, as we stand those children up, the pulls that are happening to the other people and how their line has been impacted by that change. And then, what if you could be in charge of making the rules in this park? What would you do to keep our system working well? Without functioning natural systems, everything collapses. Without functioning economic systems, societies cannot advance. Without functioning social systems, people cannot develop. And at the heart of a sustainable future are sustainable people. Individuals who are ethical, empowered, and have the understanding and skills to make the right choices. So perhaps just share with a couple of people near you an idea of how you think ESD can be developed in your area. You just let's take a moment now and think, what aspect of ESD should I be developing? Could I be developing? Is it envisioning so we're all on the same page? Is it critical thinking so we're looking at the whole issue from different perspectives? Is it encouraging the students to participate in activities that enable them to see systems? Is it planning and making our strategic plans systems-based as a manager? Share for a couple of minutes, and then I will suggest some ideas of my own and general thinking in the term world of ESD for us. I'm mindful of the time, so perhaps this discussion can continue during coffee break and lunchtime and again into the evening. But let me suggest a few points that we might consider for infusing ESD. I think that it's important that we review our stakeholders, that we really think about who our stakeholders are. The education department, the tourism department, the health department, public, private, government, whatever is correct in your country setup. And that we should really identify as wide a group of stakeholders as possible. And we should bring them together to envision the shared future of the national park, so that we have the different viewpoints for what a perfect national park would be from each perspective. And then, knowing where we're going, we can start to make a plan together to get there. We need to build staff capacity. We need to enable staff in protected areas to confidently engage visitors in systems thinking activities. Gone are the days where we struggle behind the ranger learning the facts about the tree. Now we need to be seeing how that tree is part of the whole system. We need to build staff capacity to enable teachers to plan for systems thinking activities. We need to help teachers understand the systems that they are part of. And we need to develop confidence for teachers to take their curriculum learning into protected areas. Perhaps we need to build a curriculum review and make it a component that so many hours have to be spent learning outside of the classroom. If teachers haven't got to take their children out, perhaps the funding in school won't be available for the school trip to the forest. But if policy is saying we value learning in the protected areas, and we've got budget for the bus and for the extra staff to go on that trip and for the ranger to work with you when you get to the protected area, then the building of that capacity may be the innovation, the leverage point to get more children excited about being in national parks. We need to create partnerships, long-term and short-term, special project and ongoing. Partnerships, perhaps a partnership of schools on the circumference of one of the national parks, perhaps some sort of green school network. Schools that will share their ideas with each other, who will enthuse and excite each other, and will do a lot of the work rather than everybody inventing in their own place. It will be a sharing amongst schools. We need to create networks with our community groups, voluntary and statutory. We perhaps need to network with formal, non-formal, informal and private sectors. We need to network with the forest rangers. We need to network with the tour guides. Each group brings its own expertise. We can't be experts in all of them, but by networking, we can get the benefits of everybody's individual expertise. And that brings us almost to the very end. Perhaps we think, pair and share together over coffee breaks and meal times, and just allows me to sum up that we need to reorientate our education for sustainable development. We need to think not in the linear way or in the cube of the box, but we need to think connections, using that spider's web as a metaphor. We need to teach for a sustainable future, a systems thinking approach to ESD shared by all stakeholders involved in national parks and other protected areas, resulting in meaningful national park experiences and rich education and sustainable development. For an individual who would no longer just be an educator, park ranger or tour guide, it's no simple task. But ESD is a tool that can help us to address global issues. When applied in the context of our national parks, it changes the learning about experiences to ones of learning to make connections. Suddenly, we are not learning just about the tree, but we understand how that tree connects in some way to me, to each of us. And we are forced to think about how we feel about that connection. The knowledge, attitudes and skills developed through ESD in protected areas will be important life tools for learners of all ages to be equipped with the challenges of the interconnected global 21st century. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Linda. Thank you for your wonderful lecture. Please give her a big hand. Thank you everybody for your active participation. And now we are quite behind the schedule, and we will have 10 minutes break and start session 2 in 10 minutes chaired by Dr. Curtis. Thank you. 10분 쉬었다가 세션 2를 시작하겠습니다. 감사합니다.